Blockchain Basics, a concise guide for understanding the blockchain revolution and the technology behind it. Written by Bill Rogers. Narrated by Ryan Price.
Part 1. Understanding the Blockchain and the Technology Behind It. Chapter 1. What is a blockchain? A blockchain is a database that holds a series of records in a list that is ever expanding. Each record is called a block, and the blockchain is fully secured from any form of tampering and from revision. Each of the records, or blocks, is time-stamped and is also linked to the record before it, hence the chain. We all know of blockchains as being the underlying technology of the virtual currency, the Bitcoin. The idea of the Bitcoin was born in 2008, and in 2009 it became a reality, and the blockchain is actually a public ledger of every Bitcoin transaction. In the case of the Bitcoin, each client can connect to the network and can send transactions to the network. They can also verify transactions and take part in the heavy competition to make new blocks, a competition known as mining. A brief history. When it was first thought of, the blockchain really was only for the Bitcoin and was derived as the answer to making databases completely secure and with the ability to be distributed widely. From 2014, the term Blockchain 2.0 began to be used in the database field, and the second-generation blockchain was described by The Economist as having a programmable language that allows users to write more sophisticated smart contracts, thus creating invoices that pay themselves when a shipment arrives, or shares certificates, which automatically send their owners dividends if profits reach a certain level. In 2016, a pilot project based on blockchain technologies was announced by the Central Securities Depository of the Russian Federation, and a number of music industry regulatory bodies have begun to test out models for the collection of royalties and copyright management using blockchain technology. How a blockchain is formed. Each blockchain is made up of blocks, each of which holds a valid transaction. Each of the blocks will include a hash of the block before it, and this is what links the two together. These links form the chain. As well as containing a hash-based history, every blockchain database will also contain a specific algorithm. This is used to score different versions of the histories, and this enables one version of a higher value to be chosen above the others. Peers that support the blockchain databases do not have access to the same versions of the history all the time. Instead, they just hang on to the version that scores the highest, at least that they know of. When a peer gets a newer version with a higher score, it will normally be the one they already have with a new block added to the chain. At this point, they will overwrite the database that they hold and then send the improvement to the other peers. However, there is absolutely no guarantee that one entry will stay in the highest scoring database version forever, but as a blockchain is built to add on the score of a new block to the total score of the existing blocks, there is a low probability of an entry being superseded, especially as more blocks go on and because there are certain incentives to working in adding new blocks to extend rather than working just with old blocks. Decentralization. By the very fact that a blockchain stores data across the network, it cuts out the risks that always go with centrally held data. This is because the network does not have the centralized points that are vulnerable, and this means hackers cannot exploit them. We all know that the Internet has a ton of security problems today. How many of us still rely on the system of usernames and passwords to protect data and identity, and these are easily hacked, whereas the blockchain uses encryption technology for security. Encryption technology is based on a system of private and public keys. The public key is a long string of numbers generated randomly, and this is the blockchain address of the user. The transaction that goes across the network is recorded on that key and is known as belonging to that specific user. The private key, on the other hand, is similar to a password, and it is
Sample complete. Ready to continue?